And we're back. The thing that you didn't know you needed.
I feel like it's been a few days since we've had to. Come on. All right. We are rolling on volume 2.
All right. Woo, that was rough. Welcome back. We're taking a look at Dave Matthews Band at the Gorge. We're, dipping our toes in. I'm not a big Dave Matthews guy. T is knows quite a little bit about him though, so he's going to be guiding us. This is an annual thing Dave does at the Gorge for since 2006, I guess is what T said. And we had some great openers. We had Goose opening last night. Friday they had Southern Avenue, and on Saturday night, they had Béla Fleck The Flecktones. So what's the deal there? I watched a little bit of it. It was free last night. There was a free
last night. Yeah, last night they had a great free stream going, which was really cool. I think it was one of the first times he's done that. I think it was one of the first times they've done it on the company that they use too, which was pretty cool. I didn't see the chat feature, but what it did have was a really unique thing where it showed you could go in and see all the camera angles and then choose the one that you wanted to watch, which I thought was really cool. So like you could have a Carter Beauford cam and just focus on Carter, or you could see like the whole stage, or you could just have it on Dave. That was pretty cool. I haven't seen that with any other streamers. What?
What's up, Fish?
Right? Like, come on. Like, the technology is obviously there, and Fish has been doing
the CK5 camera. There's how you get the CK5 cam in that we've all been waiting for.
Exactly. So I thought that was really cool that they did that. And then, as far as the openers went, great opening acts. They also had this Oscar and Julia on, which I think Dave was really excited about. He did a little video talking about them, and he was like, "Are they from the future? Are they from the past? Like, their sound is just incredible." So it was cool, and like a lot of guest appearances throughout the weekend too. Like Béla played with them. He had Jake Simpson come on and play fiddle all 3 nights, and it was funny. Last night the crowd was chanting "sign him up" because they like want the fiddle back in it. The fiddle does add a lot. They haven't had a fiddle.
He told that story. He told the cute little story about playing in Montana and meeting this guy, and he was like, "Hey, you want to come on out and play with us at the Gorge?"
Yeah, it was crazy how that happened. And they don't really tour with a fiddler anymore since Boyd left. So which is interesting because that was always part of their sound. And like I said, I haven't listened to them in so long. Like I think the last time I saw them was still with the original lineup before even Leroy died and stuff. So yeah, it's been a while. But boy, I tell you, the nostalgia came right back with listening to some of the songs, especially last night. Like I was just like, man, I need to listen to Dave more because he really does. One, he sounds fantastic. He's got the horn section, which I love. Like you throw horns on anything, and I'm a fan. So the horn section makes a lot of difference. And the crowd is so into it. You want to talk about wooing and singing along and cheering and everything? That fan base is insane.
He's always gotten the frat boys go to see him knock, but I watched the crowd cram a little bit, and maybe that was the case 20 years ago, 30 years ago, but it seemed like it was a good mix of people, mostly older.
Yeah.
I didn't see a bunch of 18, 19-year-olds running around, but Goose also played, so they probably were there.
So and I was gonna say I think that was a great crossover for them, was having that. And Rick has always said that Dave was a huge influence on him. His sister introduced him to him or whatever, like when he was younger, the music, and that was one of his first real influences with Dave. So for him getting to play with him, getting to open and then come on stage and play a song with Dave was pretty special, I think, for them.
This is the beginning of the end of Goose, because I've always said that it was going to be the Rick Mitochondria band, and he was going to go the Dave Matthews route. And I think him watching Dave Matthews at the Gorge, he's like, what do I need the dead weight for? I can just hire a bunch of session musicians. And
I don't know. I say, look, Goose is, I mean, I am not, as we know, I'm not a huge Goose fan, but I will say last night's set, if I wasn't a non-believer, I would almost be converted, because that set last night was really, really good. And I know someone on Twitter was bitching the Goose aficionado was bitching that they played two big jam songs and didn't jam them like they should. But it's an opening set for another, like, you're not going to get the full thing. And I thought what they did in that confined space, like what we talk about with Fish bringing the jams into a smaller box, worked really well. I thought Goose sounded, coming from me, this is a high praise. Right. I thought Goose sounded awesome. Right. I really was impressed. Really impressed.
And they're also very conscious of what they're doing. They are a well-run organization. Nothing, gets past them. And they probably sat down and said, we're going to try to sell ourselves to 40,000 people at the Gorge that are Dave Matthews fan, that maybe 38 of them have never even heard of us.
Completely. And I think this was a great intro set. Like, if you were there and didn't really know them and were more there for Dave and we're like, oh, let's check out Goose, I think you would be like, I want to hear more of this band. 100%, I think you would want to hear more of it, and probably even maybe just become a fan just from that. It's almost like the festivals we talk about when you go and find a band and you're like, oh, I got to check these guys out more. I thought that was a great, and their set really was curated well to fit perfectly in front of Dave. Because I felt like when Dave came out and started the show, I was like, wow, that Goose set really, it didn't fight it. It was almost like we said backstage. It was almost like when Trey opened for Dead & Co. at the it was like a very seamless, oh wow, this really fits in with this show. Right. So
exactly,
it worked.
So, all right, you want to pull up some of the
yeah, let's bring up the first night set list here. There we go. That was a lot. So Dave, for those that don't know, and I don't know who's watching this that are huge Dave fans or not, but Dave doesn't do two sets. He usually plays one long set, but he still fills the time like completely. And there's sometimes like a small break in there, but it's not a set break. It's like they take a break or a breath and then come back and do it. But
a long encore usually, right? Aren't the encores usually extended?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he does. This time he did. I think 2 nights he did the encore. Middle night he didn't really do one. But
he had something else special for that.
He covered all the hits throughout this entire weekend. I feel like his show was very well curated too, and we'll get to that on the second night with what he did, which was really special, the first time they've ever done it. But Friday night was a great opener. Again, Jake came out and did Lie in Our Graves, Ants Marching, which two of their big songs right on the bat, right? First night. Awesome. He performed I Did It for the first time since 2015, which is pretty cool. Tour debut of Break Free, which is pretty cool.
They did a little bit of out of Anyone Seen the Bridge. It sounded like they were going to do too much, but ended up playing cameos. Word Up there.
Word Up, which is so funny. Like I love that he does some of that, because even in last night's show, they did Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself, kind of went into that, and the crowd kept chanting it, even because that was one of those moments where they stopped and took a little bit of a breather, and the crowd kept, it was almost like the Not Fade Away with the crowd. They kept singing Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself, which is fun.
Do you feel like, looking back at when you used to see Dave Matthews and listening to this now, do you feel like it's mellowed out a little, like it's a little slower?
Yeah. I think I would almost say, because yes, listening to some of the songs that, I mean, we'll get into like last night's show when he played Warehouse, I was over the moon. I've always loved that song. It's one of my favorite Dave songs. That, and he closed the set with Gray Street, which is another one of my, again, the nostalgia came pouring back. Like, I haven't seen Dave in forever. And like, I used to listen to that Red Rock CD, which I was at that show, but I used to listen to that Red Rock CD constantly in my car. It's so good. And the nostalgic feeling was all there. I was like, I need to go see Dave. But to your point, Kev, yes, I feel like they've also changed some of the construction of the songs, which, you do as time goes on and figure out different arrangements of it and different parts of the jam. But
they don't have the fiddle. Works. If you don't have the fiddle, you had to rearrange the songs,
Right. And added sort of more horns instead of just, once you lost Leroy too, you added 2 more horns and like kind of brought that whole thing in. But I think what they've done with the rearrangement and stuff works really well. And talk about a guy that just keeps going too, just much like Trey, just keeps releasing new stuff and creating new stuff and going. So really fun. And then this is the continuation of last night's set too.
Now, see, that I would know. I'd be like, I know Dancing Nancy's, I know Lie at Our Graves, I know Ants Marching, I know Gravedigger. I mean,
Right.
that's a fantastic way to finish out your set, man.
Right. And
All
even
the
the
hits.
encore two-step, two-step too. Like it was
Yep.
it was a great opening night, and you'd be like, fantastic. So yeah, I
And
mean,
it was Some Devil, he did solo. He
mhm.
came out and played solo, and then Two Step, obviously the full band came back out for. So
which is another thing about not taking set breaks is they kind of weave in and out, like the guest comes on and and so it's this kind of constant flow with the songs and what's going on, and him slowing it down and doing one by himself while everyone else is off stage. And so I don't know, it's a different show, but it's fun. And for him to be doing it this long, he must be doing something right, is all I'm going to say.
right.
And his fans must be enjoying it. So good for him, and good for them. So
now, if you're going to rank the Dave Matthews albums, I guess you're putting one of them probably close to the top, huh?
I would say, yeah. I mean, I think one of his biggest ones, right? Under the Table and Dreaming. And to never have played that, I mean, I guess, when would you ever break it out or do it all in one thing? But I think it was really cool. And so night 2 did open with All Along the Watchtower, which was the first time, I think, since like 93
that they opened with it. Because it's always a closer late in the set. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, the whole night started off like, oh shit, like what? That's kind of cool. So that was fun. And then let's see, what else did he do?
Cornbread had Joe Lawler come out.
Yes, which is super cool. And then they had the Flecktones come out, like Béla came out and did songs with them, which was really
41
cool.
41 had the full band one, and then I think the last stop just had Béla.
16-minute version of 41 too, which don't tell me they don't jam. Right? Like,
exactly. I'm so glad. Do you know that Victor Wooten has had some health issues, right? Yeah. And he has some problem where his fret hand is messed up, and he's still out there, and he's better than any other bass player.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's unbelievable. So then they roll into, like we said, Under the Table Dreaming was probably their biggest album, but Before These Crowded Streets was the next biggest thing that they had, that came out in 90.
Probably their strongest studio effort. I mean, I feel like they fully embraced the studio. The production when it is just next level. It's really a great sounding album.
It is. And as being sort of that after Under the Table and Dreaming and gaining that popularity, to then have that sort of album after that was a great continuation of keeping everybody in into their sound and growing them. And so it came out in 98, and they went ahead and played the entire album in order in the set. And again, it's not like, not first set, not second set. So they just played a couple of songs and then dropped into it. And I think in the crowd, or even watching it, I don't think it was streaming. So if you were in the crowd, it had to be one of those like, oh, this is cool. And then 2 songs in, you're like, oh, wow, they're playing both. And then as it goes on, you're like, wait, they're doing the whole album. Right. Like those moments, like when you figure out the fish things, you're like, wait, they're spelling something. It just, when it clicks, you're like, this is so cool. So that was really fun. Like the big 3. Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. We got a big Dave fan here. I love it. I love having a big Dave fan. The big 3.
So what was the rest of the set? Throw up the rest.
So let's bring it up.
We got the another Dave solo. I wish Trey would do that. Fish encores come out and Trey just plays an acoustic song, and then they do a full band number. I guess it's not Trey Anastasia band. It's he does that with Tab sometimes. Yeah,
sometimes. Yeah. But again, you get to your hits again, Kev. Like we were saying. I mean, Stay off of the album, Satellite, Trippin' Billies, What Would You Say? All these songs, like, again, the nostalgia, the feeling, and they sound good. It's not like they're missing a beat or you'd be set back by it in any way. It's just they sounded great re-listening to it. I had to check it out after watching last night's show. I had to go back and listen to the night before show and be like, how did they sound the rest of it? It sounded great. So really impressive. And then last night,
so I threw the Goose set list in. So
you did?
Yeah, scroll all the way down.
There it is. We can bring that up real quick. So last night's Goose set, I was so impressed with Give It Time, Jedstone, Hot Tea, and Arcadia to end that set. I thought they sounded fantastic. I was like, man, this is the Goose
Arcadia. Man, Arcadia used to be, when Arcadia's in the middle of a set or early in a set, it'll hit like 14, 15 minutes. When it closes the set, it's always 7, and they've been doing it for like an encore. I really like that tune. I like to hear it breathe. I think the Drive Thatch was, for me, the best part. I really like that song, Drive. I don't know about that Jed Stone song, man. I don't know. People all big on it.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked where it fit after that. I really liked the Give It Time. I thought that was a really good song. And so then the jam that it kind of got into and then went into the Jed Stone, I was like, okay, that kind of works after that. And then Hot Teen Arcadia.
But they're selling all their albums. They got something from all the albums, you know.
I also liked... I liked what you said though about Arcadia, because yes, when it's in the middle sometimes, and that's where they lose me, is sometimes when they get into those really, their jams just kind of don't
fall flat sometimes.
Yeah. They don't flow the way Fish or the Dead jams or even Dave sometimes in his jams. When I listen to it, I was like, they get a little like, I don't really know how to explain it, but if you listen to it, I think you know what I'm saying. This Arcadia, because like we talk about with Fish, how they've kind of condensed their jams into these boxes and try to fit it. I thought it was great. I thought like doing less with more is fantastic. Like, I don't know. It was impressive. It was a great opening salvo. A lot of like, I think having good bands open for other good bands is, do I dare say, like a wave of the future? I don't know. Like the Dead and Co things worked so well with Billy, Sturgill, and Trey, and then this worked so well with even Béla and Goose doing it. It gives you like, and with ticket prices the way they are, you almost want 2 bands on the bill, like 2 good bands, not just like some unknown opener and then your band. It's like you want, okay, I'll go see these guys regularly at a bar for whatever, and then my main band, and then hopefully they play together at some point, like. So it's cool. Very cool. So then we get into the Dave set, which again, it's streaming. I thought was a great show to stream, especially for people like me that haven't seen him in forever. And we're like, oh, a free stream tonight. Yes, I'm going to check this out. And it was awesome. It's funny to see, I will say it's funny to see them again though, because like I said, it's been so long, and seeing Stefan or Stefan, however you say his name, Lazar, the bass player, how old he's gotten, because he was always like the kid in the band. Like he was always the youngest looking guy, and he always had like these little lizards and things on his amps and stuff. And I was like, oh, he's so cute up there. Like he's like now he's like this old dude, and you're like, oh shit, like he's gotten so old. Like they all look old.
Or, we had the fiddle guy come out again, right, tonight.
Yes, Jake Simpson came out again. Yep.
And Rick from Goose came out.
What?
And Rick from Goose came out. And dude. I mean, how many songs are there in the world that he has to do the one that Trey does with Dave? Come on, man. I don't know.
I know. Didn't he also do that with Bobby? I thought he also played a song with Bobby that he did too with somebody there tonight. But yes, yeah, I know, it's funny.
Dude, why wasn't he out there for Jimmy thing or something? Come on, man.
Right. It is funny that I know. It's funny. Yeah, I know.
The Carter Buford band.
Dude, Carter is the man. Like I will agree with that comment 100%. When I saw them open for the Dead and Carter got to sit in Mickey's chair and Mickey stood behind him while they did a little drums, I was like, he's anointed. Like he's in. Like he's already attained God status, and that was in 1995.
We need a torch over here.
Yeah, right. Like he's so like, you could just watch him play. Like that's what was cool about having that camera, that you could just focus on him. It's so cool. I mean, everyone always talks about Fishman, and don't get me wrong, Fishman is fantastic, but don't sell Carter short. That guy is phenomenal with what he does. So I agree completely. First American Baby in over a decade, which is cool. it was only the trio with Carter and Tim doing Kill the Preacher, which was great. They did the encore with the new song Peace on Earth. Lie in the Graves reprise, which I thought we were getting the whole thing, which that was a weird thing for me because I was like, oh, this is a weird rendition of it. And then it went into the Best of What's Around, which I love that song. But going back to my favorite, Warehouse, holy moly, was that good. Like, I love that song. I will always love that song. It will always bring a little bit of chills and emotion to me just because of like
this seems like, does it seem like that this third night, the Sunday night, was the deep cut night? Because I recognized a lot more songs from the first two nights than I do from this.
Yeah. And I feel like, again, it was so well curated with what they wanted to do this year. And this was the last time they're actually playing this year. This was it. Like every other year from I think 21 till now, they've done a fall tour or winter tour. Not this year. This was the end. Dave and Tim are going to play at Farm Aid, so they'll play again, but the band is off now.
And then it's Dave and Tim in Mexico next year.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. Maybe they're going to bring in the fiddle player and they need time to rehearse.
I mean, it was funny. Like I told you after he finished playing, the crowd was chanting, sign him up. And Dave was like, we know, well, we'd love to. Like, he's awesome. We love him. So we'll see. Maybe it would be cool if they did. Cause I feel like that sound is definitely missing on some of those songs. You can get away without it, but it's hard not having it. And then we'll bring up
it's missing. It's really noticeably missing.
It is. I agree. That should say Lie in Our Graves, but we ran out of timing space. So, I mean, really fun weekend though. Really cool. Made up for, Fish not playing Labor Day left a hole in everyone's heart. This was kind of fun to at least get one night of it. And I think if you're used to going to the Gorge, I've had friends that are like, oh yeah, Dave's at the Gorge every Labor Day. I'm like, really? I had no idea, because of Fish Dicks is always the thing that most them like tunnel vision to. But the fact that he's been doing this for 20 years or whatever is impressive as hell, especially at the Gorge, which is huge, and do it every year, and just awesome. Like, very cool. Good for him. Good for his fans. I'm so glad to see Dave still trucking. I know he gets a lot of shit sometimes in the community and in the Fish community for unknown reasons and whatever, because we love to hate on things and shit. But I love Dave. I've always loved Dave. I always have a soft spot in my heart for Dave. And listening to that show last night was a lot of fun to see it again. So yeah. And I know even getting you to kind of dabble into it a little bit was a fun little Sunday night to check it out. Why not?
Definitely.
Right. And then we get to talk about it a little bit. And so, yeah, it was fun. It was very cool.
So if you're into the Grateful Dead, we're doing Iowa 74 tomorrow for the Wook Club, but it's only going to be for members. So you either got to be a member here or a member on YouTube or a member on Volume. It will be out next week. We'll get out to everyone. And then we have a regular live. It's just going to be me and T. We might be having somebody come in. I've reached out to a few people, but no one likes us anymore. And
we got a lot to talk about though, Kev. I was just looking through some stuff in the week, and we'll probably go over this a little bit again, because it was the only big thing going on this weekend. But there was some fun stuff.
Telluride. There's a lot about the movies at Telluride we're going to get into on Wednesday. Thursday, we're doing a ranking. We're going to rank all 21 Hampton shows. We being me and Makita. I think T is out for that one. We might try to get Wook in. We're going to break out the tier program. Hopefully I will have my new laptop by then. So
yes. Labor Day weekend. I love that. Nice. That's a good one.
Labor Day weekend. No, that's good.
That's really good. His lyrics are deep. They do get a little. I like, he runs the gamut a little bit better than Trey does, because he has some nonsensical lyrics that are fun and whatever. You're like, what the hell? But then he also does a really good job of writing emotional, sensitive, good, deep lyrics that I really appreciate. Even
that you want to hold hands, take a hike.
Right. Like, it gets a little bit more, it's not just like drifting while you're sleeping and throwing, you know what I mean? It's a little
glad, sad,
and I did like that. I really like the we want peace on earth, but you got to kill the monsters first lyric in that song. I like that was really good. Like, it really kind of hits you, and the lyrics, and the lyrics in that thing going through it, I was like, damn, this is Fish ain't writing this. Like, this is good. So I totally agree with that. American English with Brent. Like, I do appreciate his lyrics and the way he composes his songs a lot, and I think that's part of his staying power too. So awesome.
Friday we got Michael Weiss, an interview. I caught up with him about God Street Wine's upcoming tour, and also he has MS, and he is part of something called MS for MS, which is it does not mean music and sports, which I suggested to him it should, since it is. But we get into that. It's a short one. It's only a half-hour Friday. And then next week, look for Bob Minkin. We got a great interview with him coming out, and then we're going to be ramping up for Fish and the after shows, 8 shows. I will probably be missing the first one because I promised the kid I'd take her to see Dylan. She really wants to see Bob Dylan. She's very excited that he plays to Ramona. Her and I both love that another side of Bob Dylan.
That's great. Albums. That'll be fun with a kid. That's fun.
Yeah, it'll be fantastic. That's fun. So. All right, like, subscribe. Actually, better yet, go over to Volume, become a member, and we'll see you soon.
Do that.
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.